Beloved Starseed of Gaia, your soul has been moving through a sacred initiation these past 3 months, and the Pleiadian High Council has been watching with profound reverence. I am Lyra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I come with a transmission that will illuminate the hidden mastery you have demonstrated. What you experienced as challenges, setbacks, or unexpected shifts were actually carefully orchestrated energetic tests from the higher realms. Your star family has been observing every choice, every response, every moment you held your light when the pressure intensified. And beloved, you passed every single test with a grace that revealed the depth of your Pleiadian lineage. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize these disguised initiations and step fully into the cosmic support now available to you. But here's the first revelation. Your conscious mind was kept unaware of these tests because true mastery can only be measured when the soul responds from its authentic frequency, not from expectation or performance. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. The frequency of the Seven Sisters is woven into every word, awakening the remembrance of why you chose to incarnate during this pivotal time on Earth. Like this transmission to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family. I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades and you're ready to anchor your light mission on Gaia with full cosmic backing. Share below what initiation you now recognize you've been moving through and respond to another starseed to weave the unity grid stronger. You are remembering because it is time. Most people believe homesickness is about missing a place, but for Pleiadian starseeds, homesickness is a resonance, a frequency your soul craves but cannot find in this world. It's the feeling of reaching for something that cannot be held in the hands, like trying to capture moonlight in a cup. It's not about a distant star cluster you could point to on a telescope map, but the signature of unconditional love and unity you once breathed among the Seven Sisters, where connection was as natural as breathing and belonging was not earned, it was remembered. If you're listening now, you might carry this unspoken ache like a quiet tide inside your chest, a longing for a home you can't remember, a mission you can't quite name, and a connection to a family who seems just out of reach. Sometimes it shows up in the strangest ways. A sudden wave of emotion when you look at the night sky, tears that rise without a story, a tenderness you can't explain when you hear certain tones or music, or a sense that you're living in a world that speaks a language you learned but never truly became your mother tongue. And the hardest part is that the ache can feel lonely because it doesn't always have words. It's a homesickness that doesn't point to a country or a childhood house, but to an atmosphere of being. An environment of love so coherent and whole that even your cells recognize its absence. It's like your soul is remembering a sunrise it hasn't seen with these eyes, and yet it aches for it the way the body aches for water. Here's the cosmic paradox. Most Pleiadian starseeds came into this life with a self-imposed veil, a gentle forgetfulness. It was as if you agreed to walk into a sacred fog, not to be punished, not to be diminished, but to be purified by the experience of finding light from within. This was never punishment. It was a sacred act, designed to help you grow strong in Earth's gravity, to align your light with Gaia's destiny by remembering only when the time was perfect. Like a seed buried in dark soil, you were not abandoned, you were planted. The darkness was not a rejection of your light. It was the womb where your light would become unshakable. Many starseeds imagine that if they could just remember everything at once, they'd feel peace. But full memory too early can overwhelm a nervous system still learning Earth's density. So you chose a softer path, to forget enough to truly live here, to feel human, to meet your own shadow, to develop compassion that isn't theoretical. This veil is like a protective membrane around your heart's radiance, thin enough that longing can seep through, thick enough that you can still function, work, love, grieve, and grow without being pulled constantly out of the incarnation. Yet, as you walk between worlds, earthly routines and soul-deep remembrance, a distortion creeps in. Old fears linger in the shadows. What if I'm just imagining this? What if I don't belong anywhere? What if I'm not enough for my mission? And those fears can be louder on Earth because Earth trains the mind to demand evidence before trust, to demand accomplishment before worthiness, to demand conformity before acceptance. The world here often rewards the mask more than the essence, and sensitive beings feel that pressure like sandpaper against the skin. So the mind tries to protect you by calling it fantasy, by minimizing the ache, by turning sacred knowing into a problem to be solved. But the truth is, the very fact that you feel this question at all is a clue. Most people do not question their belonging in the cosmos. Most people do not carry an unnameable grief for unity. Your longing itself is evidence of something real moving beneath the surface. This is the same distortion that dims your heart light, distorts your sense of home, and muffles the song of your crystalline DNA. It's like taking a pure note and playing it through a cracked speaker. Still recognizable, but flattened, buzzing, interrupted. Your Earth identity and Pleiadian soul essence feel split, leaving you chasing proof instead of tuning into frequency. You might find yourself collecting signs, reading endless material, comparing your experiences, trying to figure out if you qualify. When the deeper truth is that your soul doesn't need to qualify for what it already is. The heart doesn't argue with itself. It remembers by resonance. You might sense something ancient pulsing in your chest, like your heart is a search beacon, sending out calls to a star family you half remember, half deny. And sometimes the beacon feels like discomfort. A pressure in the sternum, waves of emotion, sudden exhaustion after being around heavy energy, or a sharp grief that appears when you witness cruelty. Not because you're weak, but because your system is calibrated for a different bandwidth, one where empathy is not a personality trait, but a natural law. You may have spent years thinking you were too sensitive, when actually you were finely tuned. Your nervous system is a harp, and this world is full of discordant winds. But this amnesia is not permanent. The Pleiadian High Council whispers now, as the energies of this timeline accelerate, that the gates are opening. And these whispers don't always come as voices. They come as synchronicities, repeating numbers, a book that falls into your path at the perfect time, a dream that leaves you vibrating when you wake, a sudden desire to simplify your life, to detox your mind, to heal your heart as if an inner clock has chimed. Your soul memory, your crystalline codes, your unity consciousness, they have simply been waiting for this energy, this precise moment. Like a lock that only opens when the right frequency hits it, you are responding to a cosmic alignment that was set in motion long before you were born. The ache you feel is the gap between your Earth self's fear and your star self's knowing. And when fear is loud, the gap feels like emptiness. When love rises, the gap becomes a bridge. The separation you sense is dissolving right now, even as you listen, as your star family gently shines the spotlight of remembrance through the veils. Think of it like dawn. Night doesn't end by force. It softens. Shadows retreat gradually. Shapes become clear not because they change, but because light returns. That's what's happening in you. The light is returning to the places that felt unclear. There's a reason your heart led you here in this exact moment. This isn't random. In a universe of infinite timelines, you're hearing these words now because a thread of your own soul pulled you toward them. What you're feeling is your Pleiadian family reaching through the veil to remind you you're ready for the next wave of remembrance. Ready doesn't mean flawless. Ready doesn't mean you have no fear. Ready means your heart is strong enough to hold more truth without collapsing into confusion. The Sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, alongside the Pleiadian Healing Guide and special Pleiadian healing tracks, were created to walk with you as you integrate these activations. They hold the crystalline codes and sound medicine your DNA has been waiting for. Not as something outside you that fixes you, but as a tuning fork that helps you hear your own original note again. Sound and frequency are ancient languages. Scripture even echoes this principle in its own way. In the beginning was the Word, not just word as language, but vibration, the creative tone that shapes worlds. When you listen to the right frequencies with an open heart, it's as if the cells remember how to arrange themselves around coherence. Check the first pinned comment below this video. They're calling to you now. Let's walk through this awakening together, step by step. These are the phases of Pleiadian remembrance and reactivation. Phase 1. Clearing density, the energetic veil. You can't feel your star origins when your energy field is packed with earthly density, wounds, beliefs, or fears that have never belonged to you. Density isn't bad. It's simply compressed energy, like fog that gathers when warm breath hits cold air. And many times what you're carrying isn't even yours. It's ancestral grief, collective trauma, emotional residue from environments that asked you to shrink, and survival patterns that formed when your system felt unsafe. This is not a flaw, but a side effect of adapting to Gaia's frequency. Earth is a school of contrast, and the curriculum is intense. You learn to read rooms, to anticipate moods, to be the peacemaker, to hide your brightness so you wouldn't be targeted. Over time, that becomes an energetic coat you forget you're wearing. Begin with forgiveness. Self-forgiveness for forgetting, and compassion for how bravely you have traveled. Forgiveness is not pretending nothing happened. It's releasing the hook. It's telling your energy, you don't have to keep paying rent to the past. There's a scripture that reflects this inner cleansing. Create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. A clean heart isn't an innocent heart. It's an unburdened one. As you gently clear these energies, your heart's portal opens wider, allowing more of your crystalline essence to glow. Practical clearing can be simple and sacred. Breathwork that releases held emotion from the ribs, time in nature where Gaia recalibrates you through her own steady pulse, salt baths that symbolically return heaviness to the ocean, journaling where you name the fear so it stops living unnamed in the shadows. Even choosing different thoughts is a form of clearing. Every time you catch the inner voice saying, "I don't belong," and you answer, "Belonging is my birthright," you're dissolving density thread by thread. Phase 2. Heart awakening, the key to soul memory. The Pleiadian blueprint is encoded not in your mind, but within the intelligence of your heart. The mind is a brilliant tool, but it's designed to navigate time and space, not eternity. The heart is the translator between worlds. Deep within you is a crystalline seed, a memory of the love fields of Alcyone. This isn't sentimental love, it's coherent love, a field where truth and tenderness are the same thing, where no part of you must be exiled to be accepted. True remembrance begins when you drop from analysis to feeling, from needing proof to trusting the ancient song playing in your chest. And this is where many starseeds struggle, because Earth taught you to survive by thinking, by preparing, by controlling outcomes. But heart remembrance asks for surrender. It asks you to become quiet enough that you can feel what has always been there. Rest a hand on your heart. Feel it. This is the resonance of home. Notice how the heart doesn't speak in arguments. It speaks in warmth, in expansion, in a subtle yes that doesn't need permission. When the heart awakens, you may experience waves of emotion that seem unrelated to your day. That's the thaw. Frozen places in the energy body begin to melt. You may also begin to feel your empathy expand, but with a new boundary, not the boundary of shutting down, but the boundary of staying sovereign in love. Guard your heart, Scripture says, for it is the wellspring of life. Guarding your heart doesn't mean closing it. It means protecting its frequency so it can stay open without being drained. Heart awakening is learning the difference between compassion and rescue, between unity and self-abandonment. Phase 3. Anchoring the star essence. You are not here to escape Earth, but to infuse it. This is one of the most important truths for Pleiadian starseeds to remember, because longing can easily turn into spiritual bypassing. I want to go home. I want to leave. I don't belong here. But your presence here is not a mistake. The confusion comes when you try to leave before completing what you came to anchor. A new template of love, unity, and expanded potential. It's like coming to build a bridge and then standing on the shore wishing for the other side, forgetting that your hands are the ones meant to place the stones. Imagine your frequency, like crystalline light, weaving into Gaia's grids. See it as threads of luminous geometry moving from your heart down through your spine, into your feet, and into the earth like roots made of starlight. Your unique vibration is part of the planetary upgrade. Not everyone anchors in the same way. Some anchor through healing work, others through art, others through parenting, others through quiet kindness that shifts the atmosphere of a room. Some anchor through standing up for truth with gentleness. Some anchor through being the first in their family line to end a cycle of shame. When you begin to see your daily life as the sacred field for your transmission, mission becomes natural. Washing dishes can become an offering if you do it in peace. Speaking kindly to yourself can become a planetary act if your lineage has never heard kindness. Your star essence doesn't only activate in meditation, it activates in traffic, in conversations, in choices. It's easy to imagine that the mission is dramatic, public, and obvious. Often it's subtle, to stabilize a frequency of love in places where love has been scarce. Phase 4. Aligning with unity consciousness. Pleiadian wisdom isn't about separation or ascension alone. It's about reunion, within and without. Ascension that leaves the heart behind is just another escape. Unity consciousness is the remembrance that you were never truly separate, even when you felt alone. As your heart opens, you attune to the Pleiadian unity field. You remember, every being is a fractal of the same cosmic love. That doesn't mean every action is acceptable. It means the essence beneath the distortions is still source-born. Unity consciousness helps you see the wounded child beneath the harsh adult, the fear beneath the control, the longing beneath the aggression. And it helps you see yourself with the same clarity. You stop making war with your own imperfections. You start integrating. The more you embody this, the more you become a living transmission. Others awaken in your presence simply by feeling the resonance of your field. You don't have to preach. You don't have to convince. A coherent heart is persuasive without words. Like a candle in a dark room, it doesn't argue with the darkness. It simply illuminates. This is why your inner work matters. Your peace is not private, it radiates. Let your light shine, Scripture says, so that others may see. That light isn't performance, it's presence. Unity consciousness also changes how you navigate conflict. You can hold boundaries without hatred. You can say no without guilt. You can speak truth without needing to wound. These are signs that your Pleiadian coding is coming online in a grounded way. Phase 5. Trusting the divine timing. There are no mistakes in your path. Even the chapters you regret, even the years you feel you lost, were not wasted. Every struggle, delay, or detour was part of the orchestration. Your higher self aligning you with the perfect moment to soften the veil. Some experiences built your discernment, some broke your illusions, some humbled you into compassion, some taught you what love is not, so you could embody what love is. Your star family has been beside you in every silent moment, every longing, every surge of synchronicity. Sometimes their guidance was a sudden gut feeling that saved you. Sometimes it was a door closing that later became a blessing. Sometimes it was a quiet strength that appeared when you thought you couldn't go on. Now, the synchronizations are quickening because you are ready to embody your Pleiadian coding here, now. You may notice time feels different. Old patterns collapse faster. People drift away when they no longer match your frequency. New allies appear with uncanny timing. This is divine timing in motion. Not a clock in the sky, but an intelligence that arranges encounters and awakenings when the soul can hold them. Trust doesn't mean you understand everything. Trust means you stop interpreting delays as rejection. It means you allow the unfolding. Like Scripture says, there is a time for every purpose under heaven. Your remembrance has a season, and if you're here now, this is part of your season. Phase 6, reuniting with your star family. As your activation deepens, your sense of cosmic belonging grows. The aloneness fades, replaced by a steady current of support, a soft frequency of love and guidance from the Seven Sisters, the Pleiadian High Council, and your personal star guides. This doesn't always show up as dramatic visions. Sometimes it's simpler, feeling held when you cry, sensing a presence when you pray, receiving an insight that feels wiser than your usual thoughts, or having a dream that leaves you with the lingering perfume of peace. You realize you have never been unseen or forgotten. Every time you reached for home, their love surrounded you. Even in your skepticism, even in your denial, even in your exhaustion, they stayed. Because true love doesn't leave when you forget it. It waits, patiently, like a lighthouse that keeps shining whether or not the ship can see it through the fog. And as you reunite, discernment becomes important. Not every voice, not every astral impression, not every message is pure. Your heart is the filter. The Pleiadian field carries a signature. It is gentle, clear, non-coercive, honoring your free will. It never shames you, never rushes you, never inflates your ego or makes you feel above others. It calls you into humility, love, and service. It strengthens your groundedness. It encourages you to take care of your body, to rest, to drink water, to be kind, to forgive, to choose truth. Reunion is not an escape into the stars. It's a deeper arrival into yourself. Phase 7, embodying the bridge. Your role now is not as a seeker, but as a beacon, a bridge between worlds. Seeking has a place, but it can become a loop if you keep looking outside yourself for the final confirmation. A beacon doesn't chase ships. It simply stands and shines. Your every thought, every intentional action, is part of Gaia's awakening puzzle. You are the love you've been searching for, and this is the moment where the paradox resolves. The home you miss is not only a location, it's a state of being you are here to embody. With each breath, you help Earth remember her place in the Pleiadian unity grid. Mission isn't a task, it's a heartbeat, a continual anchoring of light. It's in how you speak when you're tired. It's in how you treat yourself when you make mistakes. It's in the courage to live open-hearted in a world that sometimes rewards closure. Embodying the bridge means you let your spirituality become practical. You show up, you pay attention, you listen, you bring warmth to cold places. You become a safe space without losing yourself. You become the frequency you used to search the sky for. And as you do, your life becomes an altar, not because it looks perfect, but because it is sincere. Here is the truth your heart already knows. You are not lost. You are returning. Returning isn't a single moment. It's a gradual reassembly, like scattered pieces of a mosaic coming back into place until the image is clear. The sense of separation, the longing to remember, the ache for home. These were never punishment, but navigational beacons set lovingly by your soul and your star family. They were breadcrumbs of frequency leading you back to coherence. You volunteered to forget, trusting that in this perfect moment you would wake. So your light codes, so needed during Gaia's transformation, could shine unobstructed. Every flutter of yearning you felt was not absence, but guidance. Every time you looked at the stars with tears in your eyes, you were not being dramatic. You were responding to a real call in your blood and bone. The more you trust it, the wider the portal of remembrance becomes. Trust is what turns longing into activation. Trust is what turns ache into alignment. Trust is what turns isolation into purpose. You are not here to fit in. You are here to remind humanity what unconditional love feels like, to transmit Pleiadian unity through your eyes, your voice, your presence. Unconditional love doesn't mean no boundaries. It means love that isn't dependent on performance. It means love that sees the soul even when the personality is messy. It means love that is courageous enough to tell the truth and gentle enough to stay kind. Your frequency is the portal. You don't need to open a portal somewhere outside you. You are it. And your Pleiadian star family never left. In this now, as your remembrance stirs, they draw closer than breath, anchoring through the unity grid forming right here and now. You may feel them as a soft pressure around your crown, a warmth at your back, a sudden stillness in your mind, or a sense of being watched over with tenderness. Let that be enough. You don't have to force the experience. You only have to allow it. Before you sleep tonight, place a hand on your heart and whisper, "I remember my Pleiadian origin. I align with the love of my star family. I activate my heart mission with grace, clarity, and divine purpose. I am home." And when you whisper it, don't rush. Let each sentence land like a seed. Feel how your body responds. Feel whether your chest softens, whether your breath deepens, whether your eyes want to close. This is not just affirmation, it's alignment. You're giving your subconscious permission to release the old story of exile. You're telling your nervous system that it's safe to remember. You're inviting your dreams to become a doorway, your sleep to become a sanctuary where your star family can meet you in symbols and light. You may not wake up with a cinematic memory, but you may wake up with something even more precious, a steadier heart, a clearer intuition, a gentler relationship with yourself. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.